Hi friends, it's Amber. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. If you're new, I'd like to welcome you to my channel. I'm doing an autumn/fall craft series right now, and we're having so much fun with these tutorials. They're so easy, and if you missed any of them, I'll link the playlist below. And if you are one of my returning friends, and thank you so much for coming back and clicking on this video. I think you're gonna love this one and wanna make a bunch. So, let me show you what we're going to be making today. This is what I'm calling my Rustic Sunflower Album. And this is made using just the brown paper lunch bags. Not the fancy ones from Hobby Lobby or Michael's, but just the good old ones from the grocery store. And I'll get into that in a second. I'll show you everything I used. Let me do a quick flip through of this completed album. This is what the tutorial will be on today, and it is so quick and easy. I'm not going to go over every single detail because I'll be doing that at the end of the tutorial. But here's my cover, and my spine was so easy to do with the ribbon and some pom-pom trim. And then I have this vintage seed packet. So again, I'm not going to go through every detail, but I even have a pocket here and this beautiful image tag that I made. I'll talk about all the supplies and everything during the tutorial and where you can get it. So this is just a cute little pocket paper bag album. So there's pockets here, and I'm not going to pull out the stuff right now, but we'll pull it out during the tutorial. And then these are just meant for like some 4x6 pictures or a bunch of little wallet ones. And there's these little cute half flip pages in the middle with goodies in there, which we'll go over. I show you how to make everything. It is so easy. And this is a big double pocket. Here's the next spread, of course, with our little flippy page. And this is another big double pocket with some stuff in there that we're gonna go over in the tutorial. And then as you see, we have a nice rustic sunflower theme going all the way through the album. I even made some cute index cards and I altered them. So fun. And then this beautiful felt flower because I love how it sticks out of the top of the album like that. And the last page is this pocket. I'll even pull out the tag to show you. Here's one. So it is so fun, and again, it's just made of 6 paper lunch bags. Okay, so let me show you how I made this. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to be announcing a couple of surprises. But one of the things that I'm going to be sharing is that I have these kits listed in my Etsy shop, and you're gonna get so much stuff, and I show you everything at the end of the video. So I hope that you enjoy this. It is such a beautiful album. Let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm starting with are 6 paper lunch bags. These are just the regular lunch bags you get at the grocery store or Target or Walmart, and I'll show you the package that I'm using. I'm using this pack of 100 lunch bags, and I got it from Target, and this was 100 for just like a few dollars. So you can do so many things with lunch bags, and it's so fun to create albums with them. So you're gonna need 6 of those lunch bags, and the ones that I bought happen to measure 10 3/4 by 5 1/8. So that's like an approximate measurement because not all of them are gonna be exactly the same. But these are, again, the ones at Target, and I got the 100 pack. So whichever ones you have, just use them and then adjust the measurements accordingly. So first of all we're going to be doing is trimming 1 inch off the top of these. So I'm going to take my first bag and just grab my paper trimmer. So the top is a little bit uneven. It has like a jagged edge and this little gap right here. So I'm just going to cut 1 inch off the top of each bag and clean that up. So that's all we did, and now it has like a more clean edge. So I'm just going to do that exact same thing to all 6 of my bags. So I got all my paper bags trimmed down, and then the next thing you're going to do is take your first bag and see where this flap is for the bottom. There's this side right here that's like the very bottom of the bag, and then if you turn it over this way, this is like the front of the bag. So all you're gonna do is just take your bag and flip it over to the clean side, and you're gonna flip up that flap so you see the ugly side. So I'm just gonna take it and get my bone folder and crease that so it's folded up. So now what it looks like is this. You have this little flap here. Now you're just gonna do that for every single bag. Just put it on the clean side, flip it up so you see that ugly side, and crease it down. So now that we have all of our bags folded, this is where you're gonna take 2 bags at a time. Now that we have these flaps folded, you're gonna take the 2 ugly sides, and we don't wanna see that. We want to close those together. So then all you see is the clean side. So what this is gonna do is it's going to join these 2 bags together, plus it's gonna make a little pocket right here. And we're just gonna put glue on the right side. So I am only gonna glue the side and the bottom. I'm gonna leave the top part right here with no glue. And then all you gotta do is just take your other bag, flip it up, and you are just going to place that on top so the bags are even. So just kind of pick it up like this. Make sure these edges are straight and together, and then you just glue it down. So you're just gluing these 2 little flaps together into a pocket. I'm just gonna press that down. And you wanna kind of press that down really well because there's so many layers of paper here that you want to make sure it really sticks and it dries. It forms this little middle flip page right here, plus it has a little pocket right here, and I'll show you what we're gonna put in there. So once you do that, just kind of close this up and use your bone folder to get those edges nice and crisp. And then what you have is this pocket page right here. Then you have our little mini middle page, and then this back pocket page. So this is gonna be like the spine of the book over here, and don't worry that there's these little openings because as you know with the bags, they have that little opening down there. So we're gonna clean that up later, so don't worry about it now. So once you have this all done, go ahead and set it aside, and you're gonna take your next 2 bags and do the exact same thing. So you've got the 2 kind of ugly sides up. You've got the folds facing each other just like this. Here's the 2 openings, one over here, one over here. And you're gonna add your wet glue just to that ugly flap. So I'm gonna add it here and the bottom. And you don't have to do a super thin bead of glue. Do a little bit more than usual because like I said, that's a lot of layers of paper and you want it to stay. I'll link this below, this glue that I'm using, plus the little bottle. So I like to pick it up and set it down so I can really make sure it's straight. So just make sure those edges are lined up. And with that wet glue, you can kind of have time to move it around. And then open it and just kind of press down where you have the glue, and you'll have your little pocket formed. Okay, so we've got our next little signature page here. I'm just gonna crease that fold down, turn it over. And I love this album so much because it's just so rustic, and I think it has like a natural fall color already. So here's our next little set of pages. I'm gonna set that aside, and I'm gonna do my last one the exact same way. Okay, so now that we have all 3 of our page sets done, I'm gonna put 2 of them aside, and I'm gonna show you kind of what we're gonna do. So this here is gonna be essentially the front cover of your album. So you're gonna have the front cover, the little mini pocket page, and the back. And what we're gonna do is bring in the next set of pages where it looks the same. See, the big page, the little mini page, and this page. And you're actually gonna glue these 2 together, because what it's gonna make is a double pocket. So you're gonna have a pocket here and a pocket there, and it's gonna be glued together. So for this, I also use the wet glue. So for this, I'm gonna glue down all the sides, and I'm still gonna use wet glue so I have time to line it up. But if you have like a tape runner, you can just use that if you want. So I'm just gonna add glue all around the edge, and I don't wanna put too much glue because I don't want the pages to warp. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue in the middle. So that's plenty of glue right there, and I'm just gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna set this page right on top. And I just wanna make sure I'm lining up these edges so they're all straight and lined up. And then I know the rest of the pages are lined up. So then I'm just gonna give it a good press down. And just make sure everything is lined up and you have time to move it around. And now those pages will be connected. So now it looks something like this. So now what we have is this all connected. And you guessed it, we're gonna do the exact same thing for the last signature here, the last set of pages. I'm gonna add glue over here and then glue these together. All of our pages glued together, and we have the base of our album all done. So easy, right? You could like slam so many of these out and then just cover them with paper and do it like an assembly line if you want to do these for like gifts or your craft fair. But let me show you what it looks like. So we have our front cover with the pocket, a little mini pocket here, and then you've got this double pocket, another mini one, another double, another mini pocket, and then the back cover, which also has a pocket. So we're gonna set this aside because I'm gonna show you the scrapbook paper you're gonna need for this. So I went through my stash and I found every single piece of scrapbook paper that I had with sunflowers on it. I went to every paper pad, every loose paper, and I pulled out all my sunflower paper, and there was a lot. So I was able to make so many beautiful kits with this as well. The kits are gonna come with full sheets of either 12 by 12 or 8.5 by 11, but you need to cut it down to 8 pieces that measure 6 1/4 by 4 3/4. So you need 8 pieces. And again, so for this album, you're gonna need 8 pieces of scrapbook paper that measure 6 1/4 by 4 3/4. I just want to mention that some of this paper is the sturdy like cardstock weight paper, scrapbook paper, and then some of it is like a thick copy paper weight. And so that's like this sheet and this one here and this one. And you can use any kind of scrapbook paper for this. You don't need to have thick and sturdy. And of course, it only has to be single-sided. But if all you have is double-sided, that is fine as well. And then for the little pocket pages, you're gonna need 6 pieces that measure 2 3/4 by 4 3/4. So here are the pieces that I cut. And again, those are gonna go to cover the pocket pages. And they are 6 pieces that measure 2 3/4 by 4 3/4. So the first thing we're gonna do is just cover our pages. And I wanna figure out what I want for the cover, and I think I want a more subtle print, so I'm gonna go with this pretty yellow color with like the vintage sunflowers on it for my cover. And then you're just gonna decide what you want on each page, and just remember to kind of coordinate it with the pocket that's gonna be showing next to it. So like if I put this one here, I don't wanna use it again for the pocket. I'm gonna kind of choose a different one for the pocket. So I'm gonna start with the cover, and I'm just gonna be using my Scotch Extra Strength Adhesive for this, and I'm just run it on all the edges here. This is great for beginners and for seasoned crafters. It's so easy, but it's also so much fun and a really great project to make as gifts because you can put goodies in the pockets. Okay, so I'm gonna take my cover page, and I think I'm gonna open this up and kind of lay it flat. I can make sure I put this on here even. So there's gonna be a border of the paper bag all the way around each page. So you just wanna center it the best you can, and then just glue it down. So we've got our first page on there, and it's the cover page. And I think this paper is so pretty. It's so vintage, and it kind of looks like yellow burlap a little bit. So here's the cover, and we're gonna decorate that. It's gonna be so cute. So then you're just gonna choose this one and then the little pocket here. So let's do that together. So I think I'm gonna go with this pretty page here, the sunflower, just like that. Okay, so we have our next page glued on there, and I want to pick like a coordinating design for this page. I think I'm gonna go with this one right here. That'll be super pretty. And I think it's turning out so pretty. So we got our first 3 pages done. Now we're gonna do the other side of the pocket and this side. Covered, and here's a little flip through. It is so beautiful. Look at how that just transforms this cute little album by just using some pretty scrapbook paper. So that's what I chose for the back cover, and here's the front. So before we fill these pockets with some cool stuff, I want to decorate the cover. And first we need to worry about kind of closing the spine up. So this particular piece of ribbon is 2.5 inches wide. So if you have that, or if you get the kit or something, you can use that, or cut a piece of fabric 2.5 inches. The length is gonna be the length of your book. So the length of the book up and down is 5 1/8. But I'm not gonna cut this down yet. I just have the ribbon upside down, and here's the spine of the book right here. And I've just trimmed off and left a little bit of excess. And then I added my Fabri-Tac, and I thought I was rolling, so I added Fabri-Tac just from the edge, from here to here, and I went all along the width of the ribbon. So then just take the book and set it halfway onto the ribbon. Then you're gonna hold it down like this and wrap it around. So you want to wrap it pretty tight because it is going to loosen up just with that glue kind of taking time to dry. So just kind of press it down, and you're going to hold it for a few seconds so it kind of finds its spot here. Okay, so then I'm going to turn it around and just check this side and make sure it's getting nice and glued down. And I'm just gonna set this aside for a second to dry. So I let that dry, and I'm just gonna cut off the excess ribbon. So I'm just gonna be very careful, cut off that excess ribbon. Oh my goodness, so I cut the excess ribbon off and it looks so cute. Look at our spine now. It's a nice soft spine and it's fabric or ribbon, whatever you want to use. And it doesn't obstruct any of the pages opening. And I think it looks so adorable. So you could also add like some pom-pom trim right here. I have this really pretty yellow I could add right there, and I think that would look so good. This might look even better because it kind of will complement the sunflowers. Isn't that adorable? I think I am gonna use the yellow. And I think I'm gonna put this right on the edge of that ribbon. So that way we don't take up too much more space from the cover. So this is so cute, I love it. Just gonna add that right on to our ribbon. It's looking so cute, oh my goodness. So again, I'm gonna put this aside and let it dry. So like I said, I wanna decorate the cover before we fill the pockets. I have kind of a different idea for the cover. So I'm using this pocket right here, and I got these from Hobby Lobby a couple years ago. And the kit does come with these pockets. And then inside the pocket, I have this tag. Isn't it so pretty? I stamped it and then I kind of colored in a little bit. But I stamped it with Vintage Photo, and it's this stamp right here, and I wanted to try it. So I stamped it and then I colored it in with some like glitter pens that I had. And I use these like Papermate Flare metallic pens. I don't know if that's the best thing to use, but I thought it was cute. So I'm gonna leave this out of the pocket right now because I want to add some trim, but it's gonna eventually go in this pocket. And then this part might sound a little crazy to you, but I was thinking for the cover, I want it to kind of hang off and be really, really cute like that and different. And I have this authentic vintage sunflower seed pocket. And here it is. It's got the little pocket there. And I want to incorporate both of these on the cover. And I want them to be uneven and kind of sticking off the edges. So I'm just going to go for it, and I'm going to glue it down and be done with it. So I'm just going to use some wet glue for this. And because I'm not going to cover the whole thing because part of it's going to be kind of sticking off the edge. So I'm just going to get like the middle area. I'm just going to approximately put the glue where I think. And hope for the best, I guess. So again, I want to kind of stick it to where it's hanging off the sides and the top and bottom. So I'm going to lay that there, and then I'm going to layer this on top, kind of like that. Oh my goodness, I really love how it's turning out, and it's kind of crazy hanging off the sides and unique like that, but I really, really love it. So there's the cover so far. I'm going to set this aside. So of course I pulled some beautiful crinkle dyed seam binding from MyScrapcabin Shop on Etsy. Erin has the most beautiful seam binding ever, and she has the most beautiful colors. So the kit does not come with seam binding, but you can go over and choose any color you want from Erin's shop, and I'll include a coupon code in the description. So I pulled a few colors here to go with our theme. And the first one is this like beautiful cream color, and this is champagne. Then this deep brown is Bordeaux. And then I pulled this really pretty yellow that kind of matches the sunflowers, and I unfortunately just have a little bit left, so I lost the little paper where she writes the color name. So before I string that through the tag, I'm gonna take an eyelet that I have, and I'm gonna set this with my crocodile. So I'm just gonna put that eyelet right there into the tag and just take my crocodile and set it. I have so many tutorials on my channel for this. You do not have to do this. You can just string the ribbon through but I think that gives a little something extra. So I'm going to take my seam binding now and just find the center. And this makes such a fluffy, cute little decorative touch. I think that's so pretty, and the tag is decorative, and then you can like journal on the back. So I'm going to stick that into the pocket right here on the front cover. So here is a close-up of our cute cover. Isn't that so pretty? And here's how it looks when you open it. I just love how that looks. It's so rustic and vintage. And here's our pom-pom trim, and then here's the back. Okay, so let's get to filling these pockets. Okay, so now it's kind of just about playing around with what you have and making some cute photo mats or journaling spots to stick in the pockets. And then I also stamped this one. So that's a stamp that I used right here. And then I just colored it in with the same pens that I showed you. I think it turned out so pretty. Look at that. So I'm going to use this, and this is a great spot for like tons of journaling. So this will definitely go in one of my pockets. And then I did cut down quite a few craft paper cardstock photo mats. So these can be decorated. I have this vinyl sticker, and this does come in every kit. It's so pretty. And so does this beautiful vintage sunflower napkin. And you know what we do with napkins and tags. I have a tutorial where you can turn just one little panel of the napkin and a tag into a beautiful bookmark. And so here's what it'll look like, so that you can play around with those. And like I said, at the end you'll see all the stuff that comes in the kit. So I think I'm just gonna decorate some of these photo mats, and then okay, so I'm all done with my sunflower album, and I absolutely love how it turned out. So you saw me do the cover, and here is the side, and I love how that looks with all the trim. And then the back is super pretty. So what I did on the cover is I just added this rose gold paper clip right here. And then I added this beautiful sunflower charm to dangle off, but it's removable, so you can put it on like any page. And then of course you saw the spine with the ribbon and the pom-pom trim. And then here's the beautiful tag that we tucked in there, with of course the seam binding. And then I filled these pockets up. It was so much fun. So here's the first page. I left the pages pretty blank just for photos. You could fit like a 4x6 photo on here, or a bunch of little ones, but I filled the pockets. So in each pocket I wanted to put something that kind of hung out of the side to give it more of a cute look. So for this one, here's the pocket. And there's two sections, as you know, in a paper bag. So I put something in each section. So the first one, for this one, I just put a beautiful journaling card, and I put a paper clip with a scrap of ribbon. The other side, there's a journaling card. So these are just removable and can be used to decorate the album. And then of course, this can be used to journal or put a photo on. So that just gets tucked in the first little section there. And then in the second section of the first pocket, I stuck a 4x6 journaling card. So that has cute sunflowers on the back. So that was that pocket, and then this cute middle pocket, I stuck a bunch of cute stuff in here. So this is mostly journaling stuff. You saw me make these distressed index cards, and I just put a little page flag on that one. And then I stuck some of this mustard yellow notebook paper for more journaling. And then that just gets tucked into this cute little half pocket. there's that little flippy page. And then this is so pretty, the paper. And then here I put another one of these photo mats with just a little rickrack pull tab. And for the second one, I did the trim. I'm not going to pull it all the way out, but that's just a photo mat, and I added some pom-pom trim. And then for the second section, I just stuck a plain photo mat in there. And like I said, you can decorate these with stickers and paper. So here's our next section. The beautiful paper just makes the album. So in here, I stuck some goodies. I did a sunflower seed packet, some more of that yellow notebook paper, and then our beautiful stamped index card for journaling. And then there's this side, and in this big double pocket, there's lots of stuff. So this is just a plain photo mat, and then this one I love. I made a cute little ruffle pull with some ribbon, and I just used glue to glue it down. So it turned out so cute, and it looks really decorative on the side of the album. And then in here, I just put another photo mat, a plain one, and then I put a couple things in this section. This beautiful tag that I stamped, and then I just clipped it on with this rose gold clip and a scrap of ribbon that I cut into a flag. And then I just put this die cut sticker on this one, and those just go right in that back section, just like that. Turn the page to the last part, and we've got another cluster of stuff in here. Such a beautiful journaling card. I love it. You can add a photo to this. And then of course this index card that I altered. More notebook paper and a journaling card. And then on this last page, I put this beautiful felt sunflower up here. I just glued it down so that way when you close the album, it sticks out, and it's so pretty. So there's that one, and this is the tag I made off camera, and it's so pretty. I used that vinyl sticker, and I used this like fabric strips that I got from Hobby Lobby. So pretty. And I just put another plain photo mat back here. This was the most fun ever. I want to make so many more of these because I had so much fun putting this together. So before I say goodbye, I just want to share with you that I have a drop in my Etsy shop right now with so many new things. I have been putting together the most beautiful bundles ever. So I'm going to show you some footage of the bundles I have available, but first and foremost, I have kits for this album. I include so much stuff in these kits, and I'm going to show you right here an idea of what the kit looks like. So this is just some of the stuff you're going to get. There's going to be some more surprise goodies in the cute little trinket box, which I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite parts, but each kit has been curated and created by me and carefully picked out. Everything is so beautiful. There's ribbons and trims and tons of paper bags, tons of paper, and these vintage pieces here. This kit will make multiple beautiful albums. So there's only a limited amount of those. So I would head over to my Etsy shop and snag one. The next bundle I want to show you is this beautiful deluxe autumn scrapbook or junk journal bundle. I'm not sure what I'm calling it, but this is the most beautiful kit I think I've ever put together. I'm so proud of it. You get so much paper in these kits. So these are kind of like mystery, but just know that there's at least 18 sheets of beautiful scrapbook paper. You get so many embellishments and pieces and ephemera. And you also get a cute fall trinket box with this kit. So I hope that you go over and check this kit out. I had so much fun with this one, and it is so satisfying when it was all done. If you've gotten my bundles and kits before, you know that I jam-pack them so full of brand new quality premium items. So this is also listed below. I hope that you go check it out. And by popular request that I've been getting a lot is 2 Halloween kits. So the first one I'm calling my Whimsical and Spooky Halloween Bundle, and you can make junk journals with this, mini albums, you can do scrapbooking. This is just jam-packed, and of course it comes with a cute Halloween trinket box packed full of such cute items. And this kit comes with 10 sheets of premium scrapbook paper. Most of it is double-sided, if not all of it. I believe all of it is. And you get so many beautiful items in this. So that one is the Whimsical and Spooky Halloween Bundle. And then last but not least is my Vintage Halloween Bundle. And it's like a eerie kind of retro vintage style. So this is heavy on the Tim Holtz Halloween stuff, which I know a lot of people try to get their hands on, but it gets sold out. So there's a bunch of Tim Holtz paper and embellishments in this kit, along with Graphic 45 and a bunch of vintage pieces that I've been hoarding and saving. And just like the others, you get this beautiful trinket box jam-packed full of vintage, retro style Halloween goodies. These are perfect for October dailies. All of these are. You can use the fall stuff for October dailies, for like a gratitude November daily or October daily, or just your classic Halloween October daily. So check those links out in the description below, and I thank you so much, even for just visiting my shop. It means so much to me, and I appreciate the support so much. So I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope that you will give this a try. Go get some lunch bags and some scrapbook paper out and get some tags and decorate them. Oh my gosh, this was so much fun, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in my next fall video. Bye!